Hey everybody, Nettie Owens here with Sapari Solutions. We're continuing the big question of what businesses need to know right now about revenue and lead generation. And today's guest on our quick video vignettes is Stacik, the lead boss. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why you should be paying attention to Kat. Kat helps entrepreneur coaches and consultants turn to her. I guess she doesn't help them turn to her, but they do turn to her when they're ready to say no to time-consuming, overly automated bro marketing shakedown strategies that leave everyone feeling less than. They're ready to add $100,000 to their annual revenue and say yes to a simple strategy that saves them time, uses their unique voice, passion, and expertise to turn their efforts into consistent, organic lead generation. They'll use her process on any platform to hit the most outlandish revenue goals, to increase their impact and income, and do it in less than an hour a day. And Kat, I love you because your content, your marketing, your words, your branding is always like, yeah, it's just so spot on. This is what you're going to do. And the truth is, you don't make outlandish kinds of statements. When you do work with clients, you are absolutely able to help them in these ways, in really big ways that may seem almost impossible when folks sign on with you. And that's what I love, and that's why I brought you here. So full disclosure, I work with Kat, and I have been able to reach some of those crazy goals for myself in my work with her, and that's why she's on. So Kat, really quickly, was there anything you wanted to add to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
No, I'm amazing. So
pretty much. Yeah. So
super humble.
Agreement. Awesome.
All this and with 3 kids under the age of 6. So there.
Yes, I would add that is definitely a superpower here. So let's just get into it. What is it that businesses need to know right now about revenue and lead generation?
Yeah. So a lot of what's been going on is people have learned to market and to sell a certain way. And really right now, especially what's going on in this current environment, people need to unlearn that. And they need to go back to the things that have always worked whenever any kind of environmental catastrophic event kind of happens. And it's back to the basics of building the relationship and talking to someone. That is always what converts. I know it's so like mind blowing. You know, I was going to bring some kind of like huge value bomb. Yeah, I'm going to shake things up. It's not the technology. It's not the tool. It's you. Right. Mm-hmm. Most of the people that I work with, they're still their business, right? Like whether they have employees or not, they're still the front of their business or the face of it. And they need to build the relationships or put in the process and systems in place to be able to do that. But it's still about you. It's about your word, how you show up, your values, and finding people that align to that and doing it faster. Right. Yeah. And it's about the quality over the quantity.
So, okay, so if we get down to the bottom of it, number one, everything, like there was a whole shakedown when, you know, in our current situation, and this happens, like I know what's happening now is really big, but we get opportunities like this pretty regularly. You know, if a big client leaves and suddenly you have to shift back to what worked before, if you change the focus of your business, if you go in a new direction client-wise or with a new product, these are all really great opportunities to shift your perspective and to go back to what works. And what you're saying it works is building relationships, but doing it quickly. So tell me a little bit about how you feel about like funnels and the current strategies, because you said like a lot of this stuff doesn't work. So
yeah, well, so here's the thing is people use technology as a reason to try to shortcut things. Technology isn't a shortcut. Technology amplifies. So whatever it is that you've got going on in your business, technology will amplify that. So if you're not able to consistently close clients on a regular basis at a certain pace, right, you have your sales process, then technology isn't going to make that anything else but amplify what's going on right now. So if you don't know how to talk to your clients, if you don't know how to convert, if you don't know how to overcome objections, technology isn't going to be able to do that for you because you're going to be feeding the words to the technology. So you've got to understand your client better than they even sometimes understand themselves. And you do that through practice.
Right. And talking to people, right?
So, well, and if you think about it, every single person that you've probably bought a comma value from, you've talked to someone on the phone. You haven't just handed over $20,000 in your credit card through an API system without actually having had engaged with someone. So people are trying to hide from the thing that they're insecure about. So if you're insecure about talking to people and you're trying to hide behind the technology, I'm sorry, I'm going to bust that bubble. It's not going to work for you. You've got to get the foundational components. You're in business. That means you're in the business of selling and marketing.
I hear a lot of people say, look, I'm just going to do Facebook ads. I'm going to do Google ads. I'm going to do, pay for the different subscriptions that you have available. And that is an expensive experiment when you don't know how to get somebody from the, I'm thinking about buying from you to the, I just bought something from you state. These things do logically make sense to have, an automated system to go through. But we're talking about are things that are of the thousands of dollars and up behind. And I absolutely see people hide behind that technology. Like, I'm afraid to get out there. I don't want to be seen. What if they don't see me as the expert? And so they go out and
you check the box of, oh, I did this image. Oh, I did this, this graphic design. It helps satisfy an egotistical component of you wanting to feel productive, but not actually being productive. And so what a lot of people don't understand is those funnels are called self-liquidating funnels, meaning they're not actually creating a profit. What they're doing is they're creating buyers to upsell. So why not go there faster and just upsell them with the higher ticket offer in the first place, instead of adding barriers between you and the yes, which is what technology sometimes does. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but unless you have hundreds of thousands of dollars to put into a self-liquidating funnel to test and modify, you might as well make hundreds of thousands of dollars in your business by having the conversation.
That's a really good point. Okay, so any tips or advice on having that conversation if you're feeling reluctant, you don't know where to start, or you're like, something that I've been hearing a lot, and we're going to be talking more about it in future conversations on these interviews, is like, are people buying? Is it ethical to sell something?
Oh God, yes. Okay, first of all, yes, people are buying. Everyone's buying. Just because the tide is out doesn't mean that there's less water in the ocean. You've got to change how you're talking about what you do.
Basically, the tide doesn't go out and take your swimsuit with it, right?
Right. I mean, it's all about looking at, when it comes down to business, what problem are you solving? Well, right now the problems have shifted. So are you still solving a problem that doesn't really exist anymore? Or have you modified how you talk about what you do, still using the same process to solve a different problem? Because it's all about what people are looking for. You got to sell them what they want. You can't make them, they don't want to buy what they need. No one wants to buy their vegetables, but they're going to buy the dessert, which happens to come with a side of vegetables, protein, and starch. Bonus!
I don't know about the dessert,
right? Like, sell them the dessert if that's what they want. Like, if they're gluten intolerant, then sell them the gluten-free version of the dessert, right? But people are looking for something, and it's up to you to have the conversation and allow them to tell you what they want to buy. But so many times people get so caught up in their own process and themselves, making business about themselves, that they're trying to sell instead of trying to figure out if it's a fit.
Right.
And when it's a fit,
it becomes like, how can I help you? And you're like, you don't even know me. So I appreciate the question of how can you help me? But until we have a conversation and we get to know each other, it actually may be me helping you or a recommendation to something else entirely. So, I've seen a lot of people hopping on LinkedIn right now, and I'm loving it. Like, I love that people are getting really engaged in social media, but they could find some bad practices out there. So what's maybe a good first step if you're just jumping into social media, or maybe it's a platform that you haven't used before? What would you recommend for somebody to just connect for that first time with?
Well, they'll sell, right? LinkedIn isn't meant for selling, so don't sell. Don't be Pitchy Pete. We all met him. So basically go from a place of, Pitchy Pete, connect and try to sell you right off the bat. Don't be him. Don't give people PTSD from connecting. What I want you to do is go out and start a conversation. See how you can add value to that person. That is the whole, foundational pillar of everything that I do. It's from a place of service first. When you take that approach, then you can receive more in terms of abundance.
So if somebody's listening and they're like, okay, I need to talk to Kat, I need to find ways to serve the people that are in my network to make this work, what's the best way that they can get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook, but you can also get actionincubator.com/jumpstart is where you can find ways to quickly activate the leads that are already around you and get people who are to pop their hands up ready to buy.
Awesome. And this definitely works. Thank you so much, Kat.